What's going on, guys? It's Colin here at Etrailer, and today we're going to take a look at the Curt Adjustable Height 2-ball channel mount. Now this is a ball mount that's available in 3 different sizes. Right now we have the 2.5-inch hitch version, but it's also available for 2-inch hitches and for 3-inch hitches. One thing to keep in mind is that the specs as far as the rise and drop and the weight capacity are going to be slightly different depending on the size you get, but the overall construction and all the other features are going to be the same. We'll go over the differences with the specs in a little bit. Now this heavy-duty ball mount is going to be great for a wide variety of situations. Maybe you're towing multiple trailers that are going to be sitting at different heights. You want to make sure you can tow those all at level. And this could also be good for if you have a lifted vehicle to where you need to drop it down low to be able to get aligned with your ball mount. Now you see our coupler right here is much lower than our hitch receiver is. And that's just due to our lifted truck right here. So the ball mount we have right here from Curt, we were able to drop it down very low to be able to get our coupler onto our ball mount and keep that trailer fully level. That's just going to make for much safer and easier towing. Now I've gone ahead and raised up our trailer jack as high as we could get it to get this trailer up and simulate an angle to where if we were using a standard ball mount that was going to be the same height as our hitch, this is kind of what it would look like when we're towing. This is really not an ideal situation. You can see that there's a lot more weight on the rear axle of our double axle trailer right here. It's going to wear down a lot faster than our front one will. And that's just going to make for not as safe towing as it would if we can get it down and level with the ground. You can see right here that our coupler is not even at the same height as our hitch, and we're still at a very drastic angle. So let's go ahead and lower our trailer jack down and get this back onto our ball mount so we can have our trailer level again. Now you can see here we got our trailer level. This is going to be a lot safer when towing for both the truck and the trailer. Now like I said, you're going to be able to use this ball mount for a wide variety of trailers. We have 2 different size balls on here. Up top we have the 2 5/16, but if we wanted to, we could just pull these 2 pins right here and clips, and we can easily flip it over to use the 2-inch side. So we'll just take that out, turn it around, and then reinsert our pins. And now we can utilize this ball mount for 2-inch balls. When utilizing the 2-inch ball, no matter which shank you get, whether it's the 2-inch, the 2.5-inch, or the 3-inch, you're going to have a gross trailer weight rating of 10,000 pounds, as well as a gross tongue weight rating of 1,000 pounds. And when towing with the 2 5/16 ball, your weight ratings are going to change depending on the size shank you get. We'll run through those real quick. They aren't too different. With the 3-inch shank, it's going to be a gross trailer weight rating of 21,000 pounds and a tongue weight rating of 2,100 pounds. Go down to the 2.5-inch hitch, a gross trailer weight rating of 20,000 pounds and a tongue weight rating of 2,000 pounds. And then down to our 2-inch version, that's going to be a gross trailer weight rating of 14,000 pounds and a max tongue weight of 1,400 pounds. Now I've been working with this ball mount all day, and honestly it's been one of the more heavier duty ball mounts that I've worked with here at Etrailer. It's got that very nice thick steel construction with a black powder coat finish that's going to hold up over a long period of time for rugged use. It's going to be around for the long haul. One thing I do want to point out is that if you are planning on just towing every so often, maybe just a couple of jet skis during the summer when you go into the lake, this is probably going to be a little bit of overkill for you. So if you're still interested in the ball mount itself, Curt does make smaller versions of this that you can get. That way you're not really buying more than what you need. However, if you're a landscaper, carpenter, or just someone who's frequently towing a lot of different trailers, this is going to be a really great option for you. Now center on center for each hole, the adjustment point is going to be 1 inch all the way up and down it. So that means if you just need to adjust up or down just 1 notch, it's going to be 1 inch for each hole you go up or each hole you go down, which is really nice. I've worked with some other ball mounts that don't quite have that small of adjustability. Sometimes it's more than 1 inch, up to upwards of 2 inches, and sometimes you don't need that much. So it's nice to be able to get down to that 1 inch mark and be able to get your trailer as level as possible. Now, if you're new to adjustable ball mounts, you're not quite sure how much rise or drop that you need out of your ball mount, we'll go ahead and give you a tip that you can use at home to figure out how much you actually need. First, what we're going to do you need to get your trailer that you're going to be towing level as possible. Then we'll measure from the bottom of our coupler to the ground. It's going to be about 16 inches for our trailer right here. From there, we're going to measure from the top inside of our hitch receiver to the ground. And that's going to be about 23.5 inches for our application. So what we would do is subtract those two numbers, 23.5 versus our 16 inches. That's going to give us about 7.5 inches right there. So that's how much drop we need in our ball mount to keep our trailer level. The ball mount itself, the black portion, is going to have a black powder coat finish to help it resist rust and corrosion. Now down here on our ball mount, we got that same solid steel construction, but we have a zinc coating finish. Again, helps it resist rust and corrosion to be around for the long haul. And what I like about this ball mount, it's kind of minor, but we do get the 2 pins and the pin and clip with our hitch receiver included with our kit, so we don't have to worry about picking any of those up separately. But something I would suggest is picking up a locking hitch pin kit. Well, Curt makes one that's specific for your channel mount ball mount. You'll have a pin right here that you'll replace with a locking pin, and then you'll get a second pin to replace up here with your standard pin and clip that's in our hitch receiver. That'll just provide more peace of mind and more security for your ball mount. Now, one thing I like about this ball mount compared to other adjustable height ones is that it's got an anti-rattle system built into it. I'll show you it right now. We're just going to pull out these pins right here, set them to the side, and on the back of our ball itself is a rubber spacer right here, just threaded on. This is what is taking away that noise and that rattling from our ball mount. Let's go ahead and put it back in without that spacer and hear what it sounds like with our pins in. So if we don't have that rubber spacer in, you can see there's a lot of noise in it, a lot of rattling that you might get while you're towing. And we'll go ahead and pull it back out, put that spacer back on. And what's nice is that the spacer is adjustable, so you don't have to thread it all the way down. If you want to try to get it a little bit tighter, we can loosen it a little bit. Right now it's as tight as we can get it. We'll go ahead and loosen it a couple of turns just to get that maximum amount of noise out. Now, it's not going to take away all of the towing noise, but it is going to definitely help out a lot. So we'll put the pins back in. I have to push down a little bit to get those pins all the way through. Now from here, I'm shaking it just as hard, and it's not really making as much noise. It's just going to make your towing experience a lot better. You're not going to hear as much rattling. Now, we're going to have 2 different hitch pin holes so that you can get the one that's going to best work for your application. One thing I do want to point out, you want to make sure it's going to fit into your hitch receiver without making contact with the bumper. So we'll go ahead and give you a few measurements. From the center of the outside hitch pin hole to the edge right here of our support Geist, this is going to be 3 inches. If we go from the center of the hitch pin hole right here to the edge right here, that's going to be 4 inches. Now, if you find yourself in a situation where you need a rise out of your hitch, whether it's because your vehicle is lower or your trailer is higher, what you can do is pull that pin, pull out your ball mount, turn it 180 degrees and reinsert it, and then replace that pin. With it in this configuration, you can go up much higher to be able to get your trailer level with your vehicle. And what's nice is that you're not losing any of your weight capacity for whichever size you get. Now, when it's in the rise position, this is where it's going to get a little bit different between each size ball mount. So for our 2.5 inch version, it's going to have a maximum rise of 8 7/8 of an inch. If you go down to the 2 inch size shank, you're going to have a maximum rise of 9 1/8 of an inch. And if you go to the 3 inch shank, you're going to have a maximum rise of 8 5/8 of an inch. Now, in its drop position, the maximum amount of drop you're going to have for the 2.5 inch version, which is what we have right here, is going to be 10 3/8 of an inch. If you go down to the 2 inch shank, you're going to have a maximum drop of 10 1/8 of an inch. And if you go to the 3 inch shank, you'll have a maximum drop of 10 5/8 of an inch. Now, for all 3 sizes, you're going to have an inside width of the channel of 3 inches. And what's nice is that Curt makes other accessories that you can put inside the C channel if you don't want to use the ball mount. They make pintle hooks that you can put in here, maybe even a hitch mounted step to assist you with getting in the truck bed. Now, I've worked with a lot of different adjustable ball mounts here at Etrailer. They all do a great job. This one probably is one of my favorites just because it's got that really sturdy steel construction. I know it's going to be there when I need it and be around for the long haul. And I could sit here all day and compare this to all the other adjustable ball mounts we have, but I'm going to go ahead and compare it to one of my other favorites, and that's going to be the Bmw Tow and Stow. I'm going to stray away from the weight capacities and the rise and drop because you're going to be able to find in both brands rise and drop and a weight capacity that fits your needs. I'm going to focus more on some of the features that define each one. One of the things I really like about the Curt is that it's got that anti-rattle rubber spacer to help cut down on that noise while we're towing. One of the things that's nice about the Bmw Tow and Stow is that when it's not in use, you can just slide it underneath and stow it under here, so it gives it a much cleaner look. Whereas right here, we're just going to have our ball mount sitting here. If we want to remove it, we can remove it and put it on our truck bed, but then that leaves a chance of misplacing it. So there's pros and cons to both. Another thing that is a little bit nicer about the Bmw Tow and Stow is that you do have the option to have 3 different size balls. If you want, that just increases the amount of trailers you can haul with that one single ball mount instead of having to buy multiple different ones for different situations. Now, I'll end with one thing that I think this excels in compared to the Bmw is that the shank itself is solid all the way through with that steel construction, whereas the Bmw Tow and Stow does have a hollow shank. Well, thank you all for watching, and I hope this information helped you out. But that'll do it for our look at the Curt Adjustable Height 2-ball channel mount.